Forbidden fruit. Aphrodite Anonymous. This is for you. There's something beautiful about the chefs. It's simply beautiful to me. It's something beautiful the way you walk. It's more than the physical way you see on that way when you talk. Your words like a miracle to me. It's so unbelievable the way you call my ears. Something beautiful. That's right. Forbidden fruit. Aphrodite Anonymous. You're at the right place at the right time for sensuality and the best of the best. Dripping juice from the tree. Reality. You will make it day to day. Aphrodite Anonymous. Forbidden fruit.
Hello, hello, hello. Aphrodite Anonymous back with another video. As you can see here, I have all the major arcanas laid out because I am studying my cards, because that is incredibly important to me to provide the best experience. There are 22 major arcanas. Each of them possess an element. And so I'm learning about all the elements that they possess, what is what, where goes where. I often challenge myself by trying to put them in order. They are currently in order right now as I sit here and look at all the major arcanas. And I see how they kind of fade into each other color-wise. The brightest ones are at the end of the deck. We have Lovers in the middle. The Fool. I'm going to talk about what I admire about the Fool today, because I've really been like focusing on the Fool and some of the things that I notice here whenever I have these cards like around each other together. And yeah. So what I admire about the Fool is that he is fearless. He is timeless. And despite the warning signs or people talking to him, trying to steer him in a different direction, he's forward moving. Whether it's off a cliff, you can tell that he has faith, and considering the fact that he's an angel, he can fly. So I admire that about the Fool card. On to the Musician. All the elements are at his disposal. He has the wands, the swords, the pentacles, and the cups. 1 foot forward. But what I did notice is he is looking forward, but it's not directly at you. So this is how I've noticed, because I'll sit here and I'll just take in all these cards. As you notice here, the High Priestess is looking right at you. If you were she's looking right at my gaze, and I can tell that the musician, is off in the magical world, but still has his foot forward, ready to handle stuff. Like he's, working in the spiritual realm as well as the physical. So you can see that his gaze is in 2 different places. But then when you look at the High Priestess, her gaze is right there. The Moon card, you see her crown is a moon. You see that she's standing on a moon. You see that she has a good grip on her writings, her workings, and she's in control. She's in control. And you see the Empress over here, with a baby, looking off into the distance, and I see her looking forward into the distance versus looking back into the past. And her looking forward, is right there to her Emperor, and looking at the Emperor, his gaze shows strength and power to me. And then we have the Hierophant. I haven't studied these next few cards, the rest of the deck, as much as I've studied these 5. But that's what I am seeing when I look at these first 5 cards. You know, the Angel of Abundance and the Angel of Wisdom. You can see his hair is long, his beard is full. So you know that man is wise. You can see that. And he sits very, holds himself with that, I got this, you know, wise and very humble at the same time, I see. And she's admiring him. The Empress is admiring her Emperor. And with the Hierophant, I see 2 angels. I see 2 keys. I see he's holding something in the same way that the High Priestess is holding. You see here, they're just, yes, they have their holds. And then every time I look at the Lovers, it's so interesting because they're so close yet so far away. They're touching, but they're not touching. But they're not. They're, you know, they have, one has the eye on one, and the one and the other is looking up. As you can see here, she is looking up, and he is looking at her. And their wings are touching, and their hands are kind of touching, but they're not quite there yet. That's what I'm getting, but I see like 2 different energies are coming together and forming this bond. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, and that's the Angel of Destiny. I see that like knowledge becomes a part of that because there is a book there, and you have the stars, and you have the wheel, and you have the sword here as well. And then we have the Hermit. It's as if the Lovers are looking, like she's looking upwards towards the Musician, kind of. The Wheel of Fortune is kind of looking downward, but has her eyes closed. And the Hermit is looking down at the path in front of him, but also inward because it's just him. It's not like he has a bunch of people with him. And of course, you know, the Hermit himself draws in. The Angel of Reflection reflects. And it's like he's reflecting towards the Wheel of Fortune. So I find that interesting as well. And one of my favorite cards is Justice, and having that balance. And she's also looking forward with justice in mind. Also have the Chariot. The Chariot is looking forward. What I really love about this card, the Angel of Guidance, the Chariot, is that there are 2 entities here that you see. You have the positive, negative, good, bad, however you choose to look at it, that you have the light and the dark, you know, the yin, the yang. And as the Chariot moves forward, he is able to keep both sides in line. And as I was saying with the Chariot, he is able to keep both entities in check to move forward and is guided to do so. And so I love that so much about this card, because there are a lot of times in our own personal lives where we battle that. And if the Chariot can do it, we can do it, you know? So I see that as a positive card in life. Instead of one being, you know, ahead, they're both right there together in check. And then the next card we have here is Strength. And I just love this card. It's so beautiful. I love the trust. This is the Angel of Courage. I love that she's fearless with her strength and able to, you know, have her hands in this lion's mouth. And the trust that they have. Because you need to think this is a lion at the end of the day. And at any point in time, that lion has the power to do damage. But it's just beautiful to see this card. The next card we have here, I'm going to show you guys. Here is the Hangman. What I love about the Hangman is he's not hanging out of desperation or because he has to be there. He is hanging for the greater of good. And it's kind of like that, okay, let me sit back and allow the answer to come to me versus me going out there and seeking the answer. Let me take this time to just reflect, chill out, and have what I'm meant to know or whatever the case may be come to me. And I love that because that like alleviates so much stress of trying to constantly figure out what needs to happen, what's the next move. Like the Hangman is like, nah, take your break. And it's like a forced break in a sense to, you know, you really can't go anywhere, so you might as well just kick back and chill. And that's kind of what I'm getting from the Hangman. And this butterfly is the answer that he is seeking, so it will come to him. He's the angel of prophecy, so, you know, it's just, I just love that card. And then we have the Death card here. We then have the Death card. The Angel of Transformation. You know, cut that little flower and you know it's going to die. It's time for change. And many fear change, but change is good. New things are coming of something, you know, something dies, something else is born. You know, you don't know the seeds that one thing left for the next. It's just beautiful. I don't fear this card when I see this card. I don't. And then Temperance, the Angel of Peace, because even so, like, goes from the Hangman, you know, the prophecy, then you have the Death card, which is for transformations, and then you have the Temperance right after that, which is the Angel of Peace. So, you know, from death, peace comes of it. Even just looking at the spread in order, you can see from death comes peace. And, you know, she has her foot in the water, pouring the cups. You see the beautiful sunset, I would say, because it doesn't look that it's rising. And then from the Angel of Peace goes into the Angel of Freedom, which is the Devil. And you can see here that it's not like a forceful thing. It's a freeing experience. So from, you know, the death, you get peace, and then there's a freedom that comes with that. Then we have the Tower. The Tower card can be so intimidating when looking at it. Like some ish is about to happen. Ish is about to go down. You know, and if it's in reverse, you are delaying it. So it's interesting. When I look at this card, I see someone who is just embracing the experience, like it's going to happen, might as well go with the flow. And then I see someone over here that's kind of trying to compensate for the fact that it's going to happen. So when I see this Tower, I see there's two ways you can take this situation. you can go with the flow and then move on and grow from it, or you can make it a little harder for yourself. So that's what I see whenever I look at the tower. But either way, something's gonna happen because it's an angel of enlightenment. So something good's gonna come of it, you know. And you know, from the angel of freedom, the tower's got to fall down to be free and know that there's still hope, because you have the tower, and then the next card following the tower is the angel of hope, looking back at the past. That's what this is, behind her, and then looking forward. And I see that it all kind of comes together. It all becomes one all at the end of the day, because you can see where this water behind is falling and flowing, and it's over here. And then the water, you know, present is right here in the center. So it's kind of looking at the past and present and knowing there's still hope. There's still hope. Then we have the moon card, the angel of dreams. I really want to get to know this card a little better, because you do have two separate roles here. You have the dark one and the light one, but it could be the shade and the shadow. And the moon and dreaming. It's like that dream state. You know that, but you know, the moon can bring illusions and dreams and different things like that. So it shows like this angel and her wings, you know, some of the feathers falling into the water here, and it's getting in the water. So be careful. Now, I definitely want to get to know more about that moon card, because that's one that I'm like learning about. Like, there's ones I have a general idea of and I appreciate, and there's some that I want to dive deep more into and have a better understanding for. And the angel of dreams is one of those cards. But even from your dreams, you know, comes, because this is the moon card, sleeping, dreaming. From that comes happiness. You know, you have the sun, you have the moon. See, it's like dark time. See, the sun is setting. Wow, like looking at them all in order. Like the sun is setting here because it's up. It's a little, the sun, if you can look, let me put these two cards together. As you can see, the sun is definitely setting, but it's setting more so in this card, the Temperance, than it is here with Death. And at night, the freedom. Tower falls. Now it's like tower falls, night. Because you see the star here in the star card, as well as the moon. And now we have the moon at the fullest. Dreams. The next day you have the sun. You have the beautiful sun. The angel of happiness, sunflowers. A smile. You see a smile here. And you don't really see anything but a smile in this situation. You don't see a harsh face here with the devil. A unicorn with the sun. And then the judgment comes. The judgment comes. The angel of the past calling on all the situations of the past, but more in an enlightening way, because the colors are very bright and uplifting. So I don't see this as a positive card either, and none of these really are. At the end of the day, they're telling stories, but in a sense to guide you. Like, I wouldn't call it criticism. It's just for growth purposes. Like, you know, growth needs to happen anytime you see the Tower card. You know, transformations and growth is happening with, like, this whole here is growth and transformations. I see that. I see growth and transformations. And then at the end, you have the angel of success. Very vibrant, beautiful colors. Got the whole world in her hands. She is the leading star. She is the creator. She is dancing to the tune of the world. She is successful. Yes, honey, this is just such a beautiful card. Like, and it encompasses all the different colors, and every card here, it encompasses all of that. So it's like the whole world in our hands, got the whole world in our hands. Yay! So far, that's what I've come up with my studies on these tarot cards, just kind of reading them, getting to know all of them, putting them all out, checking them all out. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again, Aphrodite Anonymous is signing out.